Good evening, good people. It is time for a reveal stream. I'm Saracen. I got DM Stewart along with me for the ride here, and Dark Moon continuing the restream duties. DM Stewart, how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. Doing all right. Had some
So,
fun with these. Had some fun with these flags. Thanks for asking me to do this. Be the guest runner tonight.
heck yeah. I appreciate whenever we got the volunteers coming in to help out with guest running. Um, really make it more about the community than what crusty old Saracen's got in store for you. Uh, so tonight, we're on rally week 2. We got Oops All Loose. Our big flags tonight. Really, there's only two things to mention. This is going to look pretty stock standard, but I think that Oops All Loose has some interesting foibles to it. But we have a mid Topher, and that is going to shorten up things through the final dungeon pretty well. If you have not yet seen the shortcuts on that, take a seed for a spin with it on, or look through the wiki, as we have route notes on that. But mid Topher cuts out a bunch of bonus floors, we'll call them, and shortens up each of the fiend floors just a little bit, except for Tiamat's floor, because you can't really shorten that. Uh, so, DM Stewart, thoughts on that?
Mid Topher is clearly the correct Topher.
Yeah, it was a wonderful thing when it got added just a couple of patches ago. It was earlier this year, if I remember right.
Yes,
And
it was.
yeah, it has been wonderful. The other thing
Ye-
of note are incentives. There are none. Good luck. Now, what is important in the incentives is that we have forward loose placement. Forward loose placement tries to create chains. So, not everything is going to be clustered right at the beginning. There will probably still be a lot at the beginning. The loose placement still tends to favor things early. However, forward really does try to make something akin to a quest chain. That generally means that you'll have at least two or three of your loose items that come as a result of some other loose item. So beyond that, I don't have a whole ton of thoughts about this flag set. This is, like I said, it's relatively standard by Saracen standards. We have our early
Then
open. We have no shuffles of anything on the map. Um, it's all going to look pretty familiar. Oh yes, patrolling Warmac. Patrolling Warmac does matter. You can find him. There's only one Warmac. But yeah, we're. Oh yeah, random. Why did I do that? It's fine. Little bit of unrunnables. It'll be fine. Um,
as long as they're not the unrunnables I got in one of my practice seeds.
it'll be.
Unrunnable. I got Danny spiders.
Ooh. Okay. So, with that, I think are we ready to go?
I'm
Fired
ready.
up. All right. Count us
So
in.
in 3, 2. Oh, actually, I should.
Oh
I
yeah,
should
we got
check
to
us.
get a party.
I gotta get a party first. Okay, let's see what these blessings are. This is the seed you sent me earlier, but I have not looked at any of the
Oh yeah.
blessings.
This
Okay.
this was the least exciting of.
Oh, I like that. Not one I'm gonna take. As much as I love my black belt. Oh.
Uh huh.
Oh. And Chilean equip.
So I think equipped shirt is a little bit better than you might otherwise think in this flag set because you're just more likely to
Mm.
find one randomly. But wow, that black mage. Woohoo!
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That actually makes it a question because that actually makes it a question of do I take a black mage instead of just taking double red? Oh, it's probably because my uh, game audio is real low.
All right. Well, okay.
Mm.
Darkmoon's gonna just toss up music in the background. I'm good with that too. We are getting a little bit of weird scrolliness in our restream here, Darkmoon. So
Yeah.
you are taking the fighter. Interesting.
Um, as good as Hurt All is, as nice as Hurt All is on the black belt, Oops All Loose removes most of the point of taking a black belt, which is not loot goblining.
That's absolutely fair.
I have to loot goblin because of the nature of the flags.
So, is there any consideration about Rainbow versus the Thief Fighter lead?
There's a thought. There are thoughts of taking Rainbow, but I don't like the I just don't particularly like Thief melee.
That's fair.
I don't get enough I don't feel like it deals enough damage.
I gotcha.
Or it's too I'll rephrase it, it's too crit dependent.
I follow what you're saying. All right, well, we got a party. We ready to
In,
rock and roll?
yeah, in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. So, Heal 3, Cure 3, both very helpful to see this early. And with the Sage not caring about slots, that's pretty nice too.
Even though both of those would be red mage learnable ordinarily.
Yep. Lit 3 is enough.
Popper +4 is good find. Okay, Princess has Rod. And no extra item here.
So big call out there. What DM Stewart was saying there is, if you look in the shop and you see 2 of a single item, that means that was the shop item. So if you see 2 cabins for sale, that's what that is.
Also, I have taken a lot of the fun flags. Oh, there's a lot of money.
There is an adamant. All right. So adamant doesn't necessarily mean much of anything. It's just one extra check for the most part.
It's a single check.
But it is in a check dense location, so that's also kind of nice.
Goodbye, Garland. No, that's a rod. So that is helpful.
So rod is always nice to find early in these flags, just because that means you're not likely to be double dipping Earth. You would have to be having a very bad day to do that.
That 14,000 gold also means I can get a
Yeah,
good
having a
bit
little
of
bit of absorb
protective.
this early is very nice too.
Okay, so something we should probably talk about is that I do a lot of encounter manipulation.
Scruff, the flags are oops all loose, which we'll have the practice seat up tomorrow. It's going to be pretty basic looking. Oh, the TNT.
Hey,
Very nice. And the bottle. Okay.
number of practice seats that I've had that have had still in the Matoya zone.
Yes. The only thing that's really going to be super nice is if you get the key early so that the dwarf cave can just be done.
Can
If
be a
Vicky gives you the key, that would be fantastic. Rax with a good question here. Do you tend to favor right first over left first in this kind of seed? I tend to say I want level 2 magic.
Yeah. I'm in that same thing. I want level 2 magic.
Like there is a world in which I gamble left in some seeds, but like I need to see a payoff from that. And that means like I'm more likely to go right if I have canoe and I have the resources to do volcano. Uh, I will sometimes dive left if I get an early key on the premise that dwarves is very full of things.
I am checking for pro rings. They're just too useful.
Oh, hey, it was the dud hint.
Yep.
Hey, it's Fade. And Life 2 and Invis 2. Wow, what a level 2 that was.
Yeah, of all the magic, that was a thing. Bane, because cheeky Bane strats are actually a thing. So probably we should talk about encounter table manipulation.
Yeah, so the short version of encounter tables is that it designates X number of encounters in 256 steps, and it has a reversing pattern to it. There's a lot of documentation on this on the wiki to get into the very specifics of it, but from a hard reset, you will always have an encounter the same number of steps on the overworld. There is a crown for you. Okay. The and so encounter 1, encounter 2, etc. They will always be the same number of steps on the overworld from each other.
Which in this case is like 6. It's like 5 or 6.
Yep. So you can use a combination of hard and soft resets so that you know where you are on the encounter table. And and you can avoid unnecessary encounters using those soft resets to get past early encounters in the table, or just take the hero run as you go. The very interesting thing is that when you have different encounter rates between the dungeon and the overworld, the number of steps to any given encounter is the same. It's just that it turns off whether an encounter is there. So if we had, just as an example, overworld with higher encounter rate and the first encounter was at 10 steps, there might not be an encounter there in the dungeon, but you may have one. Oh, wow. Canoe as well. We're getting movement. You may have an encounter that is at 20, 30, 40, whatever, as your second encounter on the overworld, and that would be your first in the dungeon.
I see no reason to get any of that level 3 magic, level 3 black,
Um,
or level 3 white.
Follow-up question on the hard resets. So encounter zones are the other part of encounter manipulation that matter for, in particular, when you're looking at trying to do an overworld grind. So encounter zones are big old squares of overworld, or the floors of dungeons. Nice nuke and
By the
quad X
way,
there.
and I should pick up Quad X. I've got the money for it. By the way, we also got Key is on Volcano Armory.
That is good info.
Especially
Oh, go ahead.
pick up 3 houses there, and especially since I just got the canoe, that tells me I can go straight. That tells me I want to go straight to Volcano.
I agree. So getting the same encounter on the overworld, if you are in a single encounter zone and you hard reset, that first encounter will always be the same. The second encounter, as long as you're staying in that encounter zone, will continue to be the same off of the hard reset. The soft resets, because they're not resetting you back to the beginning of the table, they're only going, they're basically just skipping the encounter that you reset out of. That isn't really counting, if you will. So you are keeping your same position in the step encounter table, and then your encounter zone is going to determine what you get when you get to that encounter. You can use that actually to great effect in the desert.
Yeah, and I did that very poorly, getting through the using safe tiles there. Oh, that's the other one for Oops All Loose, Confused Old Men.
If the items are loose, why not the old men?
Right. Okay.
Oh,
Inquinaria Castle.
That is super helpful intelligence as well. We got it. That's a shepherd's pie, which is the ruby.
Because fun percent.
Yep. Titan Food and Multi-Instrumentalist Sarah are both very fun flag.
Yes.
I had one earlier where I had the first old man.
By the way, so you can mention that was a how I came out of the of Crescent Lake there.
Oh, the stair-stepping the river.
Yes.
Yeah, so every time you enter or exit a river tile is a free step. It does not advance the encounter table. Much like doors and bottoms of rooms in dungeons, river tiles save you the encounter step. Also
the tile right in front of a door.
Yes, and damage tiles. This play is, I know it's the right play, but man, does it feel a little awkward with 75 hit points.
Yeah.
So the
I know.
routing choice in this room is always interesting to see. Um, I tend to like to do right side first if I have warp. Coral Sword +4, very nice to see. Um, when you have exit and charges thereof, it can be very nice to get to the terrible chest and the hairpins. The other thing to keep in mind though is you can just hit the armory first and get the bulk of the chests without hitting the hairpins and see if what you wanted was in them.
And EXPs,
Yes, everybody loves the EXPs.
especially when I get. Oh,
So the having houses here is really what's doing the bulk of the legwork. I definitely agree, Odron. The times you don't check is when the hairpins destroy you.
yeah.
This might just be a reset.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like those
Yeah.
EXP, but as soon as both mages were down and you were out of life charges, man, they got it out for your thief.
Yeah, they do.
That's okay though. Parasweepers were good. Level 9 is very helpful. Level 10 will be even more helpful. I mean, level 15 would be nice too, but the main thing is just getting the spell charges, right? Like level 10 on the red mage is a big deal. That black mage with improved MP is an absolute monster already. All that for a hat.
And one I can't even use because I already have one on the one character that can use it. I mean, yes, I have it for the ninja unless I get something that's better. Ooh, that's not even as good as the copper +4.
It sure ain't.
That's actually it is good because it's money. Oh, hello, katana +2. Hello, double melee carry. Oh,
That is potentially a very good experience encounter.
and they
And
don't even have a lot
any.
of health. And hello XP pack that I will see again later in the dungeon. And hello opal armor.
Opal +1, is very good. For me, it's usually money. Black shirt +5. Wow. Oh yeah, and the key. We got a key.
Have exit charges.
Yep. That was what I was
Oh
talking
well.
about with level 10 being kind of a big target. But you do have houses, so you can finish
Yes.
this off. Good evening, Windfox. We are oopsing all looses. So, can you believe that this is actually my first time tracking in the 4 years I've been in this community? I've always dodged it. Always. Yeah, Dark Moon, you got me.
And notice I am walking on all the damage tiles as much as I can.
Yep, the staple of Volcano is walk on all the damage tiles, get none of the encounters, or as few encounters as possible. The other thing to keep in mind is this is one of those remember your blessings thing. That Black Mage had heal plus magic and improved MP. So there's actually a surprising amount of healing available on that Black.
Oh, hello, Power Bonk.
We all love a power bomb.
Hello, Loot.
Very important find. We are still 3 items from go mode. Ruse stick plus 5, very nice. Tail, super helpful.
Especially since we have the key and we know where the floater is.
Yep. Those are related things. If you missed the hint earlier, we know that the floater is in Canaria Lock.
I am sorely tempted to finish looting this floor and exit out.
I think you should have the resources to take Carrie.
Let me put this in the freezer.
I think you can nuke her down.
Yeah, I think I can nuke her down. Oh, yes, I'm going to get Red D chest, but also, yes, it's -3, but you never wear you never use the ribbon for the armor.
A ribbon -9 is still the best headpiece in the game.
Yes.
Flame plus 5 is a very nice chest piece to throw onto that fighter.
And will be a very nice chest piece to throw onto the ninja when I promote. Yeah, Oh, ugh, nightmares.
Ew. Go away.
You know, I don't even want the opal bonk.
All right. On to carry. Odron coming in with terrible, terrible spell pun. So I think this is a pretty big question for you. Given the progression that the seed has put in front of you, knowing that go mode is Oxyale, Chime, and Cube away, do you do Marsh?
It's a lot of checks.
I mean, it's better now because you have exit, right? Like,
Yeah. Hmm.
I mean,
It's fewer
obviously,
checks than ice. Let's see what the key gets us.
well, I mean, we know the most important part. We're getting an air boat.
I got enough. I have enough health. I can get my way back to Crescent Lake without having to encounter Manip. I don't encounter Manip as much on the overworld. Still checking. I'm still looking for pro rings.
Gold plus 5 is pretty compelling.
Gold plus 5 is compelling. And it's good to note that it's here. Ugh.
Fun fact, Caribs are one of my least favorite enemies in the river system.
They're usually not one of mine unless they roll something awful, like slow.
Yeah, it's just they have this tendency because of being in packs to like eat up a lot of time. Now I know, the river kraken is usually worse for most runners. Hydras hit super hard,
Yeah, Hydra's hit like a truck.
but yeah. Sitting in the incentive box just to taunt you that much further, but there is our floater. There's no point in that. Bonk. We got a power
No,
bonk
no.
plus 5. It's
For the ninja.
okay.
Yeah, that's for the ninja after promotion. It depends on what else I find for end game weapons. Like if I get an ice +5, if I get an ice +5 or better.
All right, we're in the air. Okay, I get this play. We're hitting up the lock chests here because there's 8 of them.
Yes.
And it's very fast. Okay.
Yes, it's the highest density I've got.
Yeah, that and Cardia.
Yeah.
A bunch of very dull weapons, some money, and experience.
Now since I can go basically straight north from there to Cardia, it's also straight south from Cardia.
Yep.
So it makes sense to help align.
Da-na-na-na. Look at you, all grown up in your ninja pajama.
Now, do you have a preference of what order to do the Cardia checks?
I usually start with Cardia Forest to the bottom right. Hey, free gold bracelet. That's nice. Because the forested island has 7 boxes, I like to go there first. I like to save before landing for Cardia Marsh because it's got that much overworld walk plus room walk. So I can reset out of it if it's bad. And I usually keep whatever's in grass.
I don't usually save for that, but I will probably regret that in this. Oh, Bane Sword.
Yeah. Useful-ish find. One of the other things of note that I think is worth the call out here is that you are very likely to skip going to Lefane even though the superstore is on, because man, it is so sad to translate a slab to go for 1 check. That's not guaranteed to actually be something important. But the
valid. I usually still do go to Lefane in these flags because of Superstore.
Yeah, like that's the real question is, did you bother to translate a slab first to get the extra check, or was it just I'm going there because I wanted the magic?
Yeah, and the answer is usually I'm going there because I wanted the magic.
All right, a little bit of housing stock up. We needed that in order to make sure that our situation is good going forward, because we did run out of we ran out of exit charges along the way.
And I will probably... Well, I still might hit Superstore. That's right, there's nothing at level 3 black that I wanted, or level 3 white. There is level 4 black that I wanted. Because the one time I don't check this is the time that there will be a go mode item there.
Yeah. Yeah. Is Power Word 300 in these flags? I believe the answer is yes. Let me double check. Sure is. Promo locked temper, but we've already got the promo, so
we've already promoed, so. Ordeals has chime.
Oh. Dang it, Ordeals. Why you gotta be that way?
It could be worse.
Yeah, I know.
It's 4 checks. But there's a defense sword.
And a slab.
And a slab. Ooh, and an ice shield. Yeah, I could use... Yeah, I could have used exit there. I probably should have used exit there.
Yeah, these things happen. The call out for Cube
Information
and
on
Marsh
Cube,
lock.
yeah.
Well, you know, anywhere in Marsh is pretty bad at this point. But, you know, one of the things that I think is important to remember as you're routing these is there comes a point in the seed where you're stopping the loot goblining entirely and you're just trying to follow the chain. Hint givers are super strong in this flag set because they're going to give you valuable information almost every time, except for the one jerk who's just gonna like troll you a bit. But knowing that we only have 3 items we care about remaining, it is ever so difficult to want to do anything other than Earth and Ordeals to me. Just because those are going to pay off. One, because we have to do it. The other, because it has something we... But we have seen 3 hint givers in this seed that have been absolutely critical. Yes, let's just get out of that. So the hint givers are generally speaking old men. So it's Canaria above the black magic shop, Provoca next to the white magic shop, Elfland, the elf next to the black magic level 4. Crescent Lake is one of the other old men in the Circle of Sages. Usually, it's one that's adjacent to the incentive giver.
Yeah. It's the
Um,
clock. It's the one clockwise from the incentive giver if they're in the circle.
but we unglued them, so it's fine. Melmond is that one in the destroyed section of town. Yes, Provoca does require that you beat Bicky first, because otherwise the old man isn't there, I believe.
Right. He is not there.
Gaia is the witch in the center of the southern section of town. So between the inn and the level 7 shops. Onrak
Guy is the one I never remember.
Fair. Onrak is just north of the submarine to go to Sea Shrine. There's an old man hiding back there. And Lefane is on the left side of town, in the bottom corner. So mirrored to the incentive giver. Hey, Ribbon. The other thing that you can always do is the hint box on the rando site, when you check the hint giver checkbox, does cycle through pictures of each of them.
Thank goodness for NPC guillotine.
Yeah.
And I hate doing Earth TFC, but the time I miss it.
Yup. It is one of my least favorites.
The time I miss it, see one of my winter tournament seeds from a couple of years ago.
So, a question about Opal Bonk versus the Iron Bonks that you had. Just the decision to swap those. To me, it was probably immaterial.
Well, I had the minus Opal -1, not really that worth it.
Yeah, the thing to keep in mind is that the bonks and the helms don't have resistances on them. It's just the shields and the chests. So that really doesn't matter a whole lot. And the pro ring, being the pro ring, is better than it. Resistance to death effects is very powerful. All right, 8 more chests left here. Do we get anything valuable? We get a crystal.
Possibly.
That is one more check. Ice -2, not really worth picking up. Little banana peel action.
Hit right. Yeah, hit right. Hit right. One step too early. And specifically that routing in that room avoids the 3 trap tiles.
Yep.
While minimizing the number of steps. I have become a believer in carbonating bubbles. I didn't used to be, but I do now. And Lich will get all the contempt.
What's that fighter swinging right now?
Coral +4.
Might make sense to swap it for the defense. The defense +4 hits real hard.
I'll give that a try.
Yeah, underrated sword, IMO. Alright, so we have... Alright, you still have these checks to do. So we've got the 3 locked here. Olive Marsh, the
All of
Northwest
ice.
Castle, Ice, Waterfall. We know we have to do ordeals.
And I'm really getting these three checks because they are on the way to ordeals.
I follow that logic.
I'm also going to get the bottle because it's close to where I park for ordeals.
Procape, pretty good armor. I'm a fan. When it's +4 like that, it's actually worthwhile. The other thing with Gaia is we saw
Wait a
one of the
minute.
hint givers do the You Spoony Bard, right? So, like,
Yes.
that means that the hint giver in Gaia has the possibility of telling us something important.
Again, on the way towards Gaia and parking for ordeals. So
Yep.
the time you don't check it.
You say that, I almost lost a race in a tournament because I didn't turn in the crystal in an all loose. The Oxyale is in
Oxyel
ice.
is in ice.
Okay, I mean, that's huge. Hint givers again paying off.
That changes my routing. That changes my routing because if I have the Oxyel already, then as soon as I can just fly over to do Honorat Continent.
Mm-hmm.
That's something for the Ducklings to remember. Don't ever be afraid to change your routing based off of new information.
True.
I also have not found a shop item yet.
Well, that leaves one shop.
Two. On rack and
Oh, right,
caravan.
right.
And I don't have warp. Which means I have to do this the long way.
Well, that's good to see early.
Yes. But I don't want to just exit out because one of these down here might be
The other half
Yes.
of the sky, whatever it was.
yes, cube.
Yeah. Oh,
There it is.
time to leave. That was absolutely enormous.
Yes. It really was.
That river is another place where the stair stepping is very nice.
Yes. And to answer Rex in chat, yes, we leave right there because we do have hints for the other items.
Yep, the
Or
last.
for the other item.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I should mark.
Uh,
Aha, tracking. So yeah, because the hint giver was so kind as to tell us that this was required, you know, as much as we hate this being required. Oh yeah, Earth Orb. But knowing that we had to go here means that we're not looting sea, and we're not even bothering to go to Waterfall, and we're not checking literally a fifth of the chests in the game by going into Mirage Sky. So yeah, we save ourselves a lot of grief in the process.
Yeah, we're saving a lot of... At this point, I'm go moding because I have good enough weapons.
Yeah, absolutely. You have 2 temper casters. Like, there's a little bit of desire to have the levels that you'll get from doing the dungeons, but like,
Right.
the gear is
But
there.
I can walk and grind. I can walk and grind sea and sky, and we're good.
Yeah. Are you gonna do sky first or sea?
Given that I'll have both things to do sky, I'm gonna do sky first. It's top. It was top, bottom, top, bottom, one top. Oh no, top, top. Top, top. No, it's top, top, bottom.
It's not gonna be 1 because 1 sent you back to
Yeah,
second.
top, top, bottom, 2. This is where I actually do better when I'm doing like the co-op stuff because I'm keeping track of it. And there's my chime. I'm still going to loot the rest of the chests up here because
It's not that many steps for what
it's
you're
not
getting.
that many. Yeah, it's not that many steps, and I could get something good. Or
That ain't
not.
it.
Yeah, might find the next cow, might find a massa. Yeah, since I'm right there and I have all the stuff for it, don't forget to put the chime up.
Yeah, you're right. I'm still bad at this.
Page first time tracking. Yeah, defense +4 and katana +2 are good enough.
For sure.
Would I like to have my third ribbon? Yes. Am I going to lose sleep over not having it? No.
This dungeon is honestly so much more fun when you don't have to loot it.
Yeah.
It's just, it zips by.
Yes, by the way, I do fun enemy names.
I am very much looking forward to Barber's upcoming flag with the interesting replacement sprites and names.
I don't do changed colors or changed sprites.
I think that one is going to be true enough to the originals that I'm going to be comfortable with it, but I generally am with you. Like, there's part of me that I have a, for some reason I cannot keep the muck, scum, etc. Like, I cannot keep those straight for the life of me, and I know they have different resistances. I have been very tempted to put together, like, you know, a practice ROM where I rename them to their weaknesses. But yeah, I cannot do changed colors. Do you hunt down the chicken? We have a patrolling Warmack.
I don't generally hunt down the war chicken. If I run into the war chicken, great.
I follow that logic.
Nachos are worth a lot of XP. And since I didn't get a lot of encounters here, or at least not a lot of ones that I was willing to take,
Now you're just getting heirs. Hooray.
at least they're not unrunnable.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's at least worth taking. I am going to stop and get, I am going to go over to Superstore after this, and Cheeky Bane strats are a thing.
Hooray. 23 is not a terrible level. I think it's very attainable to beat in these scalings, and with it being mid Topher, I think it's very attainable to take care of Topher with these levels.
And steak and wings, so gonna take steak and wings. Not going to take
Poisonous
steak and wings a second time.
Yeah.
But I'll let you answer this. Why am I going to Superstore? What am I looking for at Superstore?
You don't have fast yet.
Yep, exactly.
Cure 4 would be nice, but we've already checked. So here's kind of the downside. The only things that you're getting out of the Superstore are Lefane magics and on-rack magics. We've seen everything else. Or had the opportunity to.
Yeah, I did not check level 6.
Okay. And there it is. Okay. Is that a warp of habit?
Yes. It is a habit of always take warp. Always take warp when you have the chance. It's useful enough, often enough, that it's worth taking.
Oh yeah, I should light your orb.
Yeah.
There we go.
Who is it that does Northern River Grind?
Spell Zap. That is known as the Spell Zap special when you have a hard reset encounter in the Northern Rivers. So, going back to our long ago encounter table discussion, the Northern Rivers have a different encounter group. Like their zone, if you will, is different than the Southern Rivers, and so that's why you get Furgators and Arcaribs and Nachos as well.
So this is the dungeon where I really work hard at taking the free steps.
Yeah, all the encounters in C are butts, except for Gershark Big Eye, my beloved.
Or two Gershark. Ooh.
Nah, Gersharks are thick. I want Big Eyes, but they don't come on their own.
Oof. Under Gersharks.
You know, you say that the sea snacks are good. However, they're also thick. And I don't like that.
I'm glad I took that greed chest.
You could have slapped that buckler onto the red mage.
Heck.
Correct, Mecklin. This is a relatively normal Oops All Loose. There's a sprinkling possibility of unrunnables. There's mid Topher, and that's yeah.
I'm actually glad I took both of those greed chests.
White Shirt can be very helpful. Invis 2 is a very powerful spell.
Especially with Punchy Kraken coming up.
I mean, that's an assumption.
That's an assumption, but Kraken is punchy. Kraken is usually punchy.
I mean, in the worst case scenario, yes. The flip side is that sometimes Kraken rolls to have giant scripts.
That's true.
Hey, look! It's a worthless Kraken.
Hey, look, it's a scripty Kraken.
Yeah, we love scripty Kraken. Kraken ones at least. Goodbye, fish.
Alright, I have all 4 orbs lit. I'm not going to do what I did earlier today on my practice seed and try to go into Topher with only 3 lit.
You have not fizzled your beefs, which is good. Alright, if you're not familiar with Mid-Topher, welcome to Mid-Topher. We're inches away from Lich's floor. So the routing in Mid-Topher is actually like super easy. Lich's floor, you bonk because then you get 2 doors of free no encounter steps. And it lines you up perfectly to drop in.
That's a really absorbent lich. That's a really absorbent speed bump.
What a bounty. Your carry floor, you go down instead of up on Mid-Topher because we took out the little divider wall.
Again, this carry looks fairly absorbent. Or this Kelly.
I'm kind of surprised at how stingy you're being with the Black Mage that has improved MP.
Part of that is that I am not entirely used to improved MP. Part of that is also I refuse to respect Lich 2 or Carry 2.
Dude, Carry 2 is a menace sometimes. So I have to respect. It is worth noting that the thief bonus agility is set to 50 instead of 80. So you do need one more invis stack than normal. Well, I say normal, but like a lot of flags that we put out have 80 as the start, and so yeah. It's not a full ruse stack more. You need just an extra invis stack more, typically. But that's only if you're focusing on capping out. This Kraken is not long for this world. Kaboom.
Bada big boom.
All right, Tia 2, what you got for us? A fire 3. Neat. The slow 2 is now out of the pool. Hooray! Alright, so as we are cleaning up on this chaos at this point, because I don't foresee this chaos having a whole lot to stop you. Thoughts as far as the flag set? And or are you muted? Odron, I like that observation. it really is about understanding how the seed wants you to go places. Forward placement does create interesting situations in that it is going to push more progression outward. That is GG. Yeah, these I would say these are relatively straightforward flags. I would agree with that, Odra. Uh, the trick of all loose is understanding the placement logic and how it's going to impact your route. Strong recommend on check those hint givers. They're going to provide valuable information more often than not. Um, yeah. DM Stewart, I don't know if you are mic muted, but I cannot hear you if you are talking, my good friend. Um, but yeah. Any other questions from the Ducks? Well, it is looking pretty quiet over here. So, tomorrow morning, we're going to have our practice seed go out, and you'll be able to play around with these flags. Then Thursday, we'll have our kickoff of the actual race seed. It's a good time. Uh, I gotcha. The mic is malfunctioning. We get that from time to time. But definitely know your go mode is a really big tip. Understanding that, as soon as you have the go mode items, you can stop checking chests. You might need gear still, but usually by the time that you hit go mode, you have a pretty decent selection of gear, and you can make it work. Uh, I guess beyond that, I do want to say thank you to DM Stewart for running the seed tonight, showing off the flags and everything. And I definitely appreciate every time we get the community in instead of just it, being the Saracen and Luffy show. It's very nice because then we get to see more things from more people, and I always like learning what I can from other runners. If you like what you saw, you haven't been part of the community yet, head on over to FinalFantasyRandomizer.com to join the Discord and check out the randomizer itself. We have a wiki. It is full of fantastic information, including our last Duck Boot Camp from earlier this year, where we teach you how to play, show you all the ropes, as many as we can in 12 classes. Our next boot camp will be coming up in about 5 to 6 months ish, right after our winter tournament. And there will be plenty of options for getting in on that, as well as any little races we got along the way. Also, coming up in the not too distant future, we have the FFR Winter Marathon supporting the Burn Children's Fund, which is from the South Carolina firefighters. Fantastic organization. They're doing great work, and we're going to be getting that marathon going in just a couple of weeks. That is the first full weekend of December, I think. It's the 6th through the 8th, right? My brain's gone. So yes, December 6th through the 8th will be the winter marathon. I believe we do have a pre-show on the 5th as well. So come check us out for that. Get to see all sorts of randomizers, not just Final Fantasy, and raise money for a good cause in the process. With that, however, I think it's time to wrap up. Get on out of here. Thank you all for coming and joining tonight. Thank you again, DM Stewart. Appreciate you being here to run the seed. Thank you, Dark Moon, for all of the work that you do behind the scenes as well as the restream tonight. And this has been Saracen. We will see y'all later.